Welcome back to Sidra Silly Point. If anyone knows how to stay center in the spotlight and hog the limelight, it's got to be Pakistan. Note for the ICC, for the next ICC tournament, put Pakistan in the opening game against an associate nation that has the same players featuring for the last 40 years. Sit back and enjoy the thrilling, heart attack inducing spectacle unfold. I mean, I'm going to jump right into it. Enough is enough. I'm running on less than 4 hours of sleep because where I am, the opening game between Pakistan and Netherlands, that Pakistan won on the backs of Rana Faheem Ashraf, and the dropped catch from O'Dowd started after midnight. Firstly, this build-in innings, run-a-ball obsession that Babar Azam and anyone who approves this, whether it's the captain, the coach, the management, and the fans, just needs to go. This backward, completely ancient mindset of anchoring, saving the wicket so we can self-destruct later, needs to leave this Pakistani camp before the next match. This was a tailor-made situation for Babar Azam when he came to the crease, but a mandatory nervy chase had to be done. Yes, we owe Netherlands a lot for ousting South Africa in the 2023 World Cup, which allowed Pakistan to advance, but this is not how you return the favor, right? You don't get stuck in the middle, hogging the strike, not rotating, not hitting a boundary until the 14th ball that you face, putting pressure on the other end, forcing Sahibzada Farhan to play that shot and get out, and then allowing your number 5 batter, who quite literally has an average of 5 runs in the World Cup, Usman Khan, to come to the crease to continue his mediocrity against fast bowling. But yes, I forget. We are also obliged due to his favor of giving up his UAE jersey for Pakistan till the end of time. But Babar Azam, why is he in the team in the first place? Poor outing in the BBL, poor outing in the T20 series against Australia, poor outing for more than a year. I mean, is it just for views? Seriously, despite his pathetic batting, the PCB's Instagram page put up a reel showing that Pakistani women's team is watching the game and had Babar on the screen, like a major eye-rolling moment. For how long are we going to have to put up with this fake imaginary king constantly forcing everyone around him to give up their wickets? And what is up with this concept of just one batter accelerating at a time and saving one wicket, right? Why can't you have both batters accelerate and rotate strike? It's a 3-hour game, yet the 15 minutes Babar Azam occupies the crease for somehow sends the required run rate into chaos while the wickets column climbing. What does the captain and the coach, his family, his fans, and people that he's surrounded by tell him? If I hear one more person saying, well, he isn't used to playing at this position, well, then please do us a favor. Fake an injury or pull a muscle and fall down like the infamous Gulbuddin incident and leave the field. Yes, he took an outstanding no-look catch, and Usman Khan also ran halfway down the field to catch. But Pakistan cannot afford to keep these two just on the basis of their recent fielding stunts. For those talking about a net run rate, let's just focus on winning the games first. Win a game or two. But if we are going to talk about dot balls, I think Pakistan had almost 8 overs of dot balls, courtesy of Babar Azam, and our power hitting all-rounders, Shadab Khan, Mohammad Nawaz, and Shaheen Shah Afridi. But it was good to see Simon Farhan doing their bit. But Saim Ayub, I mean, there was no need for that no-look shot at that point in the game when they were pretty much cruising. I made a video especially for you during the Asia Cup saying, let's not do these no-look shots anymore. Let's look, please. Salman Ali Agha could have stuck around longer, but we can let go of just this one instant. But don't even get me started with these fake all-rounders. Mike Hesson, please stop making yourself a joke. I mean, you seem like someone who clearly has thick skin and has had roles of increasing responsibilities on your resume. But please listen to when constructive criticism is given and adapt accordingly. I mean, why is Shadab Khan promoted up the order and treated like he's the cream of the crop, whether he's batting or bowling? Saim Ayub, who was your go-to bowler for a good 6 months last year, and the number one all-rounder, barely gets an over now. Babar Ahmed, or should I say Abrar ul Haq, almost every single game is introduced after Shadab Khan, when more often than not, Abrar gets a wicket in his first over. And what was up with that review Shadab took? We all heard that, Nick, loud and clear. And I said it multiple times in my previous videos. Shadab Khan is straight up blocking a deserving player from getting their shot. No debate about it. And again, if it wasn't for Rana Faheem Ashraf, who, believe it or not, was playing in a World Cup for the very first time, scored 3 sixes, 2 fours, and that fortunate drop catch, and got Pakistan over the line with 3 balls to spare in the opening game of the World Cup. And frankly, he looked like the only one after Pakistan was two down, who absorbed pressure. Nawaz, on the other hand, fell apart. And although I've been speaking in his favor for quite some time, owing to his growth and consistency, today he looked like a deer caught in headlights. And I don't know why. There's always this obsession towards self-infliction and letting nerves get the better of them. But I guess for a team that didn't really have a warm-up match due to rain, and this was their first outing. And if you look at their history, these manageable, low-scoring or run-a-ball games, like the game against India in the previous T20 World Cup, or the Asia Cup final even, tends to send Pakistan into unnecessary self-inflicting jitters. But regardless of the fact, before the next game, Mike Hesson and Salman Aliava better think fast about who to choose in the middle order, because first of all, it's not like they have the best pool to choose from, but Babar Azam absolutely needs to be benched. Enough of King Kar Lega, because if anyone can, then sirf Rana ne kiya. Usman Khan and Shadab Khan should be replaced with Khwaja Nafi and Usman Tariq, and perhaps sending Faheem up the order would make the most sense. Shaheen Shah Afridi is doing anything but premium fast bowling, but what are they going to do, right? And there's no one really on the bench besides Naseem Shah, who's also not that great. I mean, it's not like they opted to go with Mohammad Wasim Jr. or Abbas Afridi to be in the 15th, so who knows? Now I know Vikrant Gupta is lately eating, breathing, dreaming, sleeping Pakistan, but it is time for him to ponder about what Nasser Hussain meant when he said, with power comes responsibility. So Vikrant, just because you have a Twitter account and a mouth, it doesn't mean they both need to be in constant use. For someone who was seen on Pakistani TV shows and was chilling with Pakistani journalists, there's no difference between Vikrant Gupta and Harbhajan Singh when it comes to peak hypocrisy. In a country where journalists like Nikhil Naz get bullied merely just for interviewing former PCB chairman Najm Sethi, the least, Vikrant, you can do is practice a little journalism, because we all know sensationalism is your bread and butter. But that doesn't mean Pakistan put up a comedic performance like they did, because on the one side, the Pakistani government and the PCB chairman have challenged and taken a stand against the bullying and bigotry rampant in cricket due to the involvement of BCCI in the ICC. And if, for whatever reason, the India and Pakistan game will be played after all, then both nations know that game will probably register the largest number of eyeballs in the history of the sport. Now, let me talk about the US and the India game. India started nervously, you have to admit, against the United States. There was a clear scare when Ali Khan brilliantly planned for Abhishek Sharma's wicket on the very first ball he faced. And Shadley Van Squalquick was outstanding with that brilliant 3 wickets that he bagged Ishan Kishan, Tilak Varma, and Shibam with some smart bowling. And what a debut for Mohammad Mohsin. 4 overs, 16 runs, 13 dot balls, and a wicket of Rinku Singh. But it was the Indian captain who played a captain's knock and led from the front when the team was in a bit of a pickle. Suryakumar Yadav was outstanding with his strike rotation and even denying singles when appropriate, right? Ensuring he maximized the opportunities to put up a good total. There was a few drop catches from the US, but overall, They were brilliant in the field. Netravalkar, well, who looked completely different against Pakistan in the previous T20 World Cup, was belted by Suryakumar Yadav, and he had no answer to his onslaught. It was unfortunate, though, to see Ali Khan walking off the field hurt. Shubham also didn't get to complete his quota of bowling. But again, when you have Suryakumar Yadav hitting, 4 sixes and 10 or 11 fours, and putting a total of 161, you knew the game was over for the US. And then when it came to batting, Gauss was out early, Siraj was all over from the get-go. It was going to be a hard chase for US. Nonetheless, one thing true about both of these games was that the associate nations did test both India and Pakistan and had done their homework, especially with the way the Americans got the wickets of Abhishek Sharma and Hardik Pandya. But in both games, the final 2 overs changed the courses of the matches. I mean, with Netherlands, they were quite brilliant for most part, but then that drop catch of Rana changed the fate of the game. And in the game between India and the US, Suryakumar Yadav was enough to crush the hopes of the Americans, despite their outstanding bowling for most of the game. That's all for now. I'm going to hit the deck, and I shall see you in my next video. Until then, take care.